The heatwave that's seen much of northern Europe melting in the past week. It's moving eastwards, with Germany and Hungary reaching or exceeding 40 degrees Celsius in the past 24 hours. Here in France, we finally saw a break to the baking temperatures and the tropical nights, the cooler Atlantic air coming in from the west. And it was a momentous moment, a barrage of lightning flashes and storms for more than an hour. I watched tables sent flying from terraces of restaurants. I watched plates and food with it crashing to the floor, people running, shouting, taking cover and watching. And if you scroll your socials, you'll notice the Eiffel Tower was struck by lightning. This is how it was captured from various angles by those watching on.
Its name,
Which leads to the many questions about why lightning doesn't damage the Eiffel Tower. Is it safe for people to be within the tower, on the observation deck, in the restaurants with the tempest ongoing? Turns out the Eiffel Tower is struck several times a year by lightning. And if we go back to 1889, when it was the centrepiece of the World Fair in Paris, Gustave Eiffel had designed it not only as a spectacle, not only to withstand lightning, but to act as a scientific data station. To explain, Michael Toubet joins us in the studio, the president of France Paratonnerre, the company that handles lightning protection for the Eiffel Tower. And we're also joined by Marie Segura, the co-founder of My Private Paris, running curated luxury tours of the capital. Good evening to both of you tonight.
Good evening.
Michael, we will start with you. Tell us why we do not fry if we're in the Eiffel Tower when lightning strikes.
In fact, the Eiffel Tower is protected against lightning strikes thanks to many lightning rods on the top of the Eiffel Towers. And each lightning rods are linked to down conductors and to grounding systems in order to dissipate lightning current safely in the ground. Yeah.
These are designated basically four copper cables, are they? Four copper points right at the top of the tower that run all the way down the copper cables to the ground. Explain how it works.
Yeah. In fact, there is 9 lightning rods, 8 on the fourth floor and 1 on the top of the last floor. And after there is 4 down conductors, which are in the counterface of the pillars. And thereafter, when lightning are catched by the road, it goes through the down conductors, which have an enough section to flow the current, and it go to the grounding system, a specific grounding system, a lightning one, which is going to dissipate safely. So, as I said, the lightning current.
It's pretty incredible because basically, if you know, anybody knows from their school days of science that lightning follows the path of least resistance. Therefore, it will follow the copper all the way down. As you talk about, there's electrodes buried in the ground. Let me bring in Marie at this point. Your company, it wasn't in the middle of one of your tours, was it, last night when the heavens opened?
No, hopefully no. Actually, the Eiffel Tower did close during the latest afternoons because of the heat. So luckily for us and for the customers, no one was on the Eiffel Tower. Not because it's dangerous, because it's not, but because it is a bit impressive, I'm sure, to be right in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the Eiffel Tower. So,
what were you doing? Were you watching it?
Oh,
were you
I
taking pictures?
I was actually watching. Yeah, I think like any Parisian, I was hypnotized by the lightning, and it just went for an hour. So it was very impressive just to see the sky becoming violet. Yeah, that was really something special.
And how frequently does it come up on the tours as a question? And what do you say when they're asking about what happens about the vision of Gustave Eiffel?
I was thinking you were asking for like how many lightning is on the Eiffel Tower,
exactly
like
that. Exactly. Yeah. What are people saying about the lightning?
Yeah, so it's only 5 times a year, which is, already quite a lot if you are on it, if you're lucky enough to be on it. But I think at the very beginning, Gustave Eiffel thought about it and he wanted to study it. So he did place those lightning rods in attempt to really comprehend more, like all the weather, let's say, all the climate, experiment that went on it. So it was not just lightning, but also the pressure of the air, also the gravity. It was really fascinated by anything. The Eiffel Tower was meant to be a laboratory, let's say, at first.
And it's worth saying to that point, Michael, Gustave Eiffel said at the time he envisioned it, quote, as an observatory, as a laboratory, as Marie said, the likes of which has never before been available to science. So he knew within the body of work at the time, there's one called the scientific work of the Eiffel Tower, the practical study of meteorology. He knew, and not only that was part of the reason it was saved from demolition, wasn't it, 20 years later or so?
Exactly. In fact, Gustave Eiffel and his team was like genius at this time, because they put in the lightning protection some requirements that wasn't necessary or expected at this time, and which are nowadays what we are doing. So it was more than 100 before, and so it was quite fascinating to see what Gustave Eiffel thought to do in order to protect with efficiency the Eiffel Tower from lightning.
They call them copper brooms directed to the sky, don't they? There's kind of a romantic term for the scientific data that kind of actively invites the strike to a control point. And that if you obviously think about its position, it's going to be struck, as we heard, 5 times a year. Is that right, roughly? Would you notice it if you're in the observation deck during the strike? And obviously it was closed last night for heat reasons yesterday. But would you physically notice the moment? Would anything flicker?
In fact, when it strikes, we have some sensor installed in the Eiffel Tower to see what happened, and it doesn't change anything, because lightning strikes and people inside won't have the sensation of the lightning, so everything is safe. Yeah.
So the elevators, they won't stop for a minute and pause and carry on?
No, so everybody will be safe if you are at the restaurant or in the elevator. Don't be worried. Everything is under control. Yeah.
Marie, is there when we talk about, particularly with Americans, when there are big moments of forces of nature, of tornadoes, hurricanes, and you have those tornado chasers, is there such a thing with the Eiffel Tower that you have these fanatics, lightning watchers, waiting for these moments to happen to record it?
You have to be quite lucky, like I say, to come here at the right moment. But yeah, for sure, it's an exceptional pictures to take and a moment to tell your friends. So yeah, I would say I'm sure there is a lot of fans of the Eiffel Tower that are waiting for these moments, like they are waiting for the moment it's sparkling at night. So yeah, for sure, it's very, very specific moment, but you cannot miss it. So yeah, but it's like I say, only 5 times a year, so you have to be quite lucky.
Have you seen it happen, Marie?
Actually, when I was a kid, yes, I saw it because I was lucky enough to live actually by the Eiffel Tower. So I saw it from my window, and that was just a second, but I do remember it.
Michael, same question. Have you been in the Eiffel Tower at all within the building, or have you just seen it from afar?
Yeah, I seen it yesterday from.
You
from
watched
far.
it?
Yeah, yes. There was nearby the Seine River, and I saw lightning strikes directly on the Eiffel Tower. So it was quite famous. And yes, it's you are lucky when you are able to see it. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, so this is a regular occurrence for you?
Yeah. On the site, it's quite regular to see, but on the Eiffel Tower, it's 5 to 10 times each year. So you have to be there, to be in front, and to wait for it for sure. But when it occurs, it's fantastic.
I need to get your number. You need to text me when you're hearing vibrations. Michael's the man to know. Listen, the other thing it's worth saying is, since Gustave Eiffel's original kind of design and his engineers, how modified has it become? The system, the system not just for conducting, but the data analysis going on. How relevant is that data now? And is that data within the structure of the Eiffel Tower?
Yes, we collect some data with Eiffel Towers after lightning strikes, because, as I said, we have a lot of sensors and we know exactly what are the lightning data. And we can see how to improve things. And when we are doing the maintenance and inspection on site, we know how to improve components or what in comparison to what had been done at the construction of the tower. But yes, it's interesting to be able to have a lot of data each year and to improve the conductors, the section of the copper, the grounding, many things. Yeah.
So the instruments, basically, so it's like a little scientific laboratory inside it. What sort of tell us a bit more about the detail of the kind of research you're looking at? It's just the duration of each strike, the characteristics of each strike.
Yeah, we are doing some monitoring of the shape of the waveform of the lightning strikes. Also from lightning current, which is going to impact the Eiffel Tower, because average lightning impact currents is about 30 kiloampere, so 30,000 ampere. And we can see sometimes it's huge impacts that strike the Eiffel Towers. And with a lot of sensors, we are able to know that the average value is not maybe the same worldwide and in the Eiffel Tower, because the tower maybe will be more attractive for lightning, because due to this shape and size. And so we have to be more accurate and to reinforce protection for such structure. And it is what is done. And also, what has been thought at the beginning and said by Gustave Eiffel, which was quite.
It's an incredible shot. Just looking at it behind you now, it is something else. But just to understand the kind of the incredible science behind it, that you would feel nothing within there, it would pass. They would conduct down to the ground. If it hit another building, or if it hit me with a pair of metal shoes on, what will that do? That power.
With no lightning protection, because many buildings are protected with lightning rods. But if you have no lightning protection for a building, it will can have a lot of damages. It can burn the building, explode it. And we have a lot of example last night on some houses that has been struck by lightning this night, and with a fire that began, and firemen had to stop it. And so it's something very important and dangerous. And for a person, when you are directly struck, many times you die. You can survive, but it's quite rare when you are in direct strikes. So it's an important current, and the human body is not is not resistant to, in fact.
Marie, and a question for you as well, Michael, but I'll ask you first. There'll be people watching this perhaps later on, right now, they'll be on YouTube later, saying, OK, there's another lightning strike. Where is the best, safest, of course, place to watch it, to get a view like that? Marie, where would you advise?
I would probably go up on the either Montmartre or Belleville, just to have like the perfect sky and to see the Eiffel Tower from far, if you want to take a picture. But if you want to experience from a bit, maybe Trocadero could be a good option as well.
Michael, insider's guide, you've seen many angles. Where would you advise that people a good place to watch and get the panoramic view of a lightning safely?
It's difficult to have one place, but the one suggested, Montmartre or Trocadero, is a good place. After, when you have a view on the Eiffel Tower, on a building, other building, it will be, I think, interesting to see, because the idea is to see from the sky to the Eiffel Tower and the strikes. I will say better option is to be the farthest possible, because as I said, it's something dangerous. But when you can see it, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Marie, when something like this happens, how much does it affect your business, and you suddenly see a spike in interest?
It's interesting, because I think it's at the same time as surprising as it could be a bit frightening for people, like to be like, oh my God, I'm coming to Paris and there's this enormous storm. But I would say that it's giving a spark. And now you're talking about it all around the world, right? So somehow it's just giving great publicity for Paris. But I will stay, quite cautious, especially if you're with a family, to not be everywhere during the storm, not to be under trees, for example. We know that, that could be also quite dangerous. So it's nice to see it from, inside and more safely. Yeah,
good point, because it was pretty phenomenal, the whole event last night, wasn't it? The repeated flashes throughout the evening and the storms. Great to talk to you both today. Thank you so much, Marie Segura, the co-founder of My Private Paris. Thank you. And also to Michael Troubat, the president of France Paratonnerre, a company that handles lightning protection for the Eiffel Tower. Thank you both.